Hello everyone, Oscar here. You know what it is, your dad knows what it is, and I definitely know what it is. I'm of course talking about Ever since I started playing Ultimate, I wondered, is this game actually accurate to how a fight between Link and Cloud would go? Now, the obvious answer is no, but the less obvious answer is much more interesting, and also what today's video is about. I'll be putting the original cast of Smash 64 up against each other to see who's actually the strongest. In case you don't know, this includes
Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, Pikachu, Luigi, Ness, Captain Falcon,
and
Jigglypuff.
But to make things more interesting, I'll only be scaling them based on material made before the 2000s. Basically, how strong were they when Smash 64 came out? Finally, I won't be focusing on their powers or abilities, so this debate will be focused purely on stats. With that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. In 12th place is Captain Falcon. Now, unlike most of the other characters on this list, Falcon's only issue is that he's genuinely featless. The only scaling he has is from F-Zero GX and the F-Zero anime, both of which came out in the early 2000s. Unfortunately for him, Captain Falcon's gonna have to settle with being the bench warmer. In 11th place is Link. This specific version is the Hero of Time, which is the one from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, although we can't include the latter since it was released after Smash 64. And unfortunately, similar to Captain Falcon, Link has 0 AP feats. Obviously he scales to Ganondorf, but all of Ganondorf's scaling comes from games released after Smash 64. His only saving grace, however, is the fact that he has 1 speed feat. Young Link can outrun explosions, and adult Link should be physically superior to him, which makes him at least Supersonic Plus. In 10th place is Jigglypuff. I couldn't find any scaling on it in general besides Versus Battle Wiki, so we're gonna have to listen to them. They say it's small city level from scaling somewhat relative to Rhyhorn and also scaling to Piplup. What the actual f*** are these Pokemon names? Additionally, it says Jigglypuff has massively hypersonic plus speed from dodging lightning attacks. So definitely way more impressive than Captain Featless and the hero of no feats over here, but still not good enough. In 9th place is Pikachu. Like Jigglypuff, Pikachu is limited to Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, Yellow, Gold, and Silver, which despite what you may think, is only really 2 games. Pikachu's comparable to Girafarig, who has 1/10 of the power of Farigiraf, who scales relative to Tyranitar. Basically, Pikachu is 1/10 as strong as Tyranitar. Tyranitar's best feat is Large Mountain Level, so you divide that by 10 and get Mountain Level Pikachu. For its speed, it's actually as fast as Light because it can dodge light-based attacks, and we have yet to see anyone calc that. In 8th place is Samus. Unfortunately for her, she only has 3 games to work with: Metroid, Metroid 2, and Super Metroid. Even then though, she's still surprisingly powerful. She scales from country to multi-continental from defeating Mother Brain, who's been able to dish out attacks of that caliber. She's superhuman to supersonic from dodging Ridley's fireballs and running on a planet with 960 times gravity. In 7th place is Kirby. You may know him as the multiverse-ending god eater he is today, but he wasn't always like that, especially in the 90s. However, he's still not a force to be reckoned with. At worst, he's actually at Samus's level at Multi-Continental from his star-shattering Megaton Punch. He should also scale above Nightmare, who caused a moon-level explosion. And at best, he should be large planetary from also scaling above Nova, whose kinetic energy is calculated as such. Lastly, for his speed, he's very consistently MFTL Plus from several interstellar travel feats. In 6th place is Fox. You're probably surprised to see him this high, but it'll make sense in a bit. Physically, he's much weaker than even Jigglypuff, only being around building to large building level with his weapons. He also has subsonic speed from scaling to Wolf, who is known for perception blitzing. But with the addition of his Arwing, he gets to solar system level with FTL speed. Oh, and by the way, Fox should physically have FTL reaction speed since he's able to pilot one of these things. Basically, the Krazoa spirits were able to keep Dinosaur Planet intact, which if it wasn't, would lead to destruction of an entire solar system. FTL speed is actually pretty consistent for the Arwing, as it's able to outspeed black holes, outspeed a light speed rotation body, and fly at warp speed. In 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd place are Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, and Luigi, but not in that order. I decided to put them all in one section together because they all scale to each other in some way, shape, or form, and of course, all that scaling comes from none other than Mr. Video Game himself. But despite only having a little over a third of his history up until now, Mario's decently strong. He's able to completely stop the momentum of Bullet and Bonsai Bills with only one jump. This gets him anywhere from multi-city block to even large mountain or island level if you believe they scale to one of his speed feats, which we'll cover later. He also, and I can't make this up, fights the sun and defeats it, which is pretty obviously star level. But at best, he scales above Mauser, whose bombs can destroy dreams. Dreams are stated to be worlds, so at best, Mario would be universal, but I think multi-solar system is more acceptable since these dreams seem to be kinda like pocket dimensions, and also contain starry skies. With his speed, he should have sub-relativistic travel speed at best from scaling to Bowser, and his reaction speed could be anywhere from relativistic to MFTL+. And to no one's surprise, first place goes to Ness. Limiting him to games before Smash 64 doesn't affect his scaling at all, since he's only canonically appeared in one game. His attack potency should be high universal in base form from creating and absorbing Magicant, which is stated to be a universe of infinite size. When fused with the power of the Earth, he jumps up to about low multiversal to possibly multiversal from scaling relative to the Dark Dragon, who's the power of the Earth in the Mother 3 universe. And when I mean the power of the Earth, I'm not just talking about the planet, but the entire multiverse, which could have lots and lots of universes. His physical speed isn't too impressive, only being superhuman from scaling to Nin-10, although he has relativistic plus reaction speed from fighting light dodging enemies, and when merged with the power of the Earth, he's omnipresent, as he becomes the conscious mind of the universe. And that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this scaling video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. If you've played Smash Brothers, tell me who your main is in the comments. Finally, if this video gets 10 likes by June 23rd, then I'll do the newcomers from Melee sometime in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Goodbye.